here too. We were talking earlier.
We were talking. Okay.
And welcome to our class that's live now. Now we're officially live. So, yeah, Bob and Ken are here. Some great students of mine. Very happy to have both of them. Today, we're going to be talking about homophones, right? Homophones. That's what I think it is. Let me just double check. Yes, homophones. Because there's a lot of different words like homographs, homophones, homonyms, and they can be quite confusing. So today we're going to focus on homophones, all right? Does anyone know what that is, first of all?
Oh, I'm not sure what is homophones.
They're all confusing. They're all confusing. Okay. Don't worry. Ken, do you have any idea?
A homophone is the same sound words, meaning different.
Okay. Well, I think you're right, as I get these confused as well. But hold on just a moment. Where is level? This is what I want. One moment. YouTube. There it is. And we'll share that. Okay, perfect. Homographs. Oh, homographs. Uh-oh. I lied. Homograph or homophone? What did I put in today's class? Now I can't remember. Well, anyway, this is what we're doing today. I'm just trying to think. Maybe I'll check out Facebook and see what I had actually written. This is how well I confused them. So homophones. Yep, I did do that incorrectly. I think it was correct and I had changed it. But anyway, we can do these and maybe touch on homophones later. So homographs, how confusing, is what we'll be talking about today. Okay? So what is a homograph? It's words that are spelled the same but have a different meaning and sometimes have a different pronunciation. Okay? So there are a few in the English language that are sometimes mistaken and or confused and need to be perfected. So let's take a look at 8 of the most common ones. All right, so we'll look at these first, and then I'm sure we'll have more, okay, that we can talk about. So moving down, to the next one. Okay, these are confusing. All right, what is this word? Ken, let's start with you.
Desert.
Okay.
This and desert and the area are confused. Which is stressed.
Well.
Anyway, but to abandon, I think now another dessert means the sweet or something or fruits after the But I don't know the meaning of to abandon for this word.
Yeah, to desert. Hold on. To desert. Oh boy, my pronunciation today might be a little compromised. Let's think. An abandoned area of land, a desert. Okay.
Desert. Okay.
Desert. I was deserted. On the is it deserted island like in the past? So this would be a deserted island would be an adjective in that case.
Okay. Same, almost same meaning, but different. Stressed because of the noun adjective.
So they're the same spelling, different meaning, and sometimes have different pronunciation. Yeah, so they don't need to have a different pronunciation.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, this is quite confusing. So, desert.
Yes.
Bob, any comments with this?
What is the name in Africa or Arabia? Is this an area of the sand?
Desert.
Yes. Desert. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Area of barren land.
Yes. Barren means bare, that it doesn't have anything. It's gone. Nothing.
Nothing. Yes. Yes.
Anything else?
We have one more word for the desert. I can't remember now. Can you help me? Like sandstorm,
Sandstorm?
no sandstorm.
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
I think tumbleweed is the word. A
Yes.
tumbleweed is that thing. Oops, I spelled that wrong. 1 second. Let me go. Tumbleweed is that like piece of like bush with only sticks that rolls around in the desert. No, but a sandstorm, yeah, sandstorm.
Mhm.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, all right, good.
yes.
Okay.
I remember one nice song before many years.
Well, why don't you sing it for us?
Yes, this is named Sandstorm.
Ah, okay.
Do
And
you maybe know this song?
I don't
Like
know.
Bonnie M, like Bonnie M music, Sandstorm. Very popular before 20 years. Oh,
Well, I wasn't that old 20 years ago.
okay, okay.
No, I don't know. I'm not really good at songs or anything. But if you want to sing, you're more than welcome to sing.
Okay, next time. Not now.
Okay. I
Not
didn't
now.
think so.
And
That's fine.
thanks.
So I'm looking here and I'm actually just gonna have this person, it's on word reference. I don't know if I can say that or not, but on word reference, they actually have a lot of different ways on how to pronounce these words. And so what I'm gonna do is put it into the US pronunciation. And here we go. We have 2 different ways. Let's listen to the first way. Or not. Come on.
Desert.
Okay, that's 1. Actually, I think that's it because no, there's only 1. Huh, desert.
Desert. Desert.
Desert. Yeah, because the other one is just the way that it's. No, that's not the pronunciation. Interesting. Desert. Desert. Deserted. It changes when we put this in, like I said, a deserted island. Then the intonation changes. A deserted island. Desert. Deserted island. So it is quite confusing. Do you have any other questions with this one?
First one is a verb. Is it a verb? First desert.
I want to say yes. However, I think it's more used as an adjective.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, a
Okay.
deserted island isn't an island that was abandoned, I guess.
So can I say I desert dump? I mean a garbage, for example. I desert garbage.
Not necessarily. We would say take out. I took
Oh,
out the garbage, right?
okay. So
We
it's
wouldn't
not
say
the
I
same.
abandoned the garbage. I mean, you don't really abandon garbage, you throw it out. So there's a different context there.
So if it is a verb, how can you?
Well, I would say the man deserted his friends at the bar.
Mhm.
I mean, you could say that. Normally it's not. I wouldn't say it's a really common verb to use in this situation. As far as they deserted him in the bar or something like that.
That's the word. Anyway,
I
I
mean,
got it.
I can't think of anything else, honestly.
Yes.
um, you could say a soldier deserted.
Army.
Sure.
Yes.
So, there's different. I personally wouldn't use it in this situation. I would say abandoned. We left him alone. I would use different words and more likely phrasal verbs. So
Yeah. Right.
that's part of it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the second one. Who wants to pronounce this word for me?
I.
All right, what do we have?
Bass.
And
Bass is my musical instrument.
it is, and that is perfect for
Yes.
you. But the
I'm
fish,
professional bass
bass
player
player.
in the world. Yes, of course.
But the type of fish is pronounced differently.
Yes.
Do you know how?
Of the type of the fish,
Yep, it's pronounced differently.
pronounced differently. Bass or the.
Good question, right? Ken,
Good
what about Ken, do you know what the pronunciation could be for the fish?
Bass.
Bass. Okay. So as my American accent, my Wisconsin accent is very strong. So bass is the instrument, bass is the fish. Okay, so the A's are different in this case. And you would understand this because of the context.
Yeah. Also, bass is kind of very a lot of bass nowadays in Japanese ponds and lakes. So I know that the fish
Okay,
actually.
that's perfect. For example, I remember this from my childhood many, many, many years ago. For example, I'm starting to type and I mute myself. So I Bob, can you read that sentence for us? The one I just typed in the chat box.
Yes. I read a book yesterday.
Okay, I read a book yesterday. Is that fine?
Yes.
Ken, can you read that sentence for me?
I read the book yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about. So in English, as far as the three columns that we have these three verbs: read, read, read. Now, the second column and the third column are pronounced like the color red. Okay, so it's quite difficult to know how to pronounce that sentence. I read a book yesterday. Wait a minute. Read would be in the first column as the present. Okay, so your mind has to say, no, I read a book yesterday sounds strange. It should be, I read a book yesterday. Okay. And so it's things like this. This is what happened. I remember in class, we were reading a book and out loud, a kid said this. And it sounded so weird, And so then the person had to go back and say it again because it was incorrect. But it happens to us too. So that in the same case situation as the bass or bass, okay, it depends on the context. And you might not know the context until you actually say the word out loud if it's written. So if you make a mistake like this, don't worry. It happens all the time to us too. Okay? I mean, there's lots of words like this. I mean, and all of the homophones too that we have there, and there. They're spelled differently, but they are pronounced the same. I think those are even more confusing. So it's quite challenging, English, this language. All right. So any other questions with number 2?
No.
Okay. So then, Ken, I will have you read number 3.
Okay. I think bow to bend down in front of an audience, and bow the shape of laces when shoes are tied.
Okay, it's actually the opposite.
Okay.
So in your culture, right, you bow when you greet someone.
Yes.
Okay, and then a bow is what you tie with the laces on your shoes or in hair.
Like a bow tie.
Exactly. A bow tie is what you wear around your neck normally as a man. So yeah, I mean, there's different ways that we use the word as well. So that was really good. Yeah. But bow, hold on. To bow is the action of bending down, and a bow is the other noun. Okay. Any questions with that?
I have something to say about this. And
Okay.
bow is the front of the ship.
Of course
Yes,
you would
of
relate it
course.
to a boat.
Yes. This is place on the front of the ship is the name bow.
You're absolutely right. I
And
didn't even think of that.
yes, of course.
See, and that's why we're all here, is because we all have something to add. So that was very good. That's perfect.
Yes.
Okay. What about number 4? Bob, do you want to say those words?
Yes, of course. Close. Close to be near. Close to shut something.
Okay. So I'm going to say your second close, to close the door, for example, is correct. But actually, to be near is different. Ken, do you know how to say to be near? How to pronounce that word?
To be near, close.
Close. So our S's are different. Okay. And I've done a class about the S's. And this is one of those that's kind of irregular. You know, it can't follow a rule because it's spelled the same. But depending on the context, it's pronounced a certain way. So he is too close to me. He needs to go away, for example. This first one is close with an S, okay? This part, to shut something, is close the door. This sounds like a Z in this case, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so S and Z. So again, this is something that's really confusing because you think you have seen this word before, close, close. You think, one is correct, it's actually not. Oh, how confusing. Any questions? Bob, do you want to give us some examples?
Yes, I know beautiful song for the Carpenters.
Really?
Yes, is the name Closing to You.
Okay, well, that's
Yes. This is number 1, close to be near. Closing, closing to you, yes, of course.
very good. And that's basically it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, very good. Let's go to the next page on here. Oh, yes. All right. So, wait a second. Close. Bobby doesn't. So, Ken, why don't you try and pronounce these words?
Okay. Minute, to be extremely small, tiny. Minute, 60 seconds.
Okay. Minute and minute.
Minute,
Minute, minute.
Mhm.
Bob, can you pronounce these? Minute, minute.
Minute, minute.
Good. So that's basically it. So when you say I have 10 minutes left in class, that's like 60 seconds times 10. So minute and minute, minute. The intonation is just a little bit different here. Okay.
Yes.
Bob, what would you say? Something that, what's something that is minute in your opinion?
Minute. Minute, to be extremely small, tiny. Um, like insect. Insect is extremely small, tiny. I heard somewhere these words minute, like small animals, insect. Yes.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. Very good. And then minute, everybody knows minute. There's 60 minutes in an hour, etc., etc. So that one's pretty
Yes.
simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody know minutes. What's minutes?
I would hope so. So good. What about this next verb or word, I should say? Okay. Because in one situation, it's a noun, and in the other, it's a verb. Bob?
Tear.
Okay. Tear is the first one. It's produced when you cry. It's that drop of water that comes out of your eye. That's a tear.
Yes.
Do you know the other one is pronounced differently? Do you have any idea?
Yes. But can't remember now. Right now. Tear, because I listening songs. I know. Tear for Fears. Tear for Fears. And usually, this is usually a word in music song. Tear.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. I would say the second one is pronounced tear.
Tear.
Mm-hmm.
To rip up something.
Yes. So, for example, you don't want paper, and so you. Did you hear that?
Oh, yes, of course.
So now the verb is I tore, Tore in the past. Okay.
Yes.
So very good.
To rip up
So
something.
those are two. Yep. The water that comes out of your eye is a tear, and then to tear, tore. I have torn is the other one. Okay.
Yes.
Well, very good. What about this word? I think it's Ken's turn.
Yeah, maybe, yes.
How do you say that word?
Content. One pronunciation is content. Another one, I don't know, content. I don't know the kind of different pronunciation for these
Okay.
words.
Perfect. So the first one, happy, content, material, content.
Content. Okay. Content.
Mm-hmm. Good. That's basically it. I think we all know what happy means and material. So we can the last one. Bob, so it's your turn.
Use. Use to utilize.
Utilize, yes. And
Utilize and use function.
okay, this is
Yes.
utilize is use. That was fine. And then function is use. Use. There's a very small difference between the words. Can you hear them? Use. Use.
Use.
Very good. That's perfect.
Yes.
All right, good. It is complicated. Now, have you seen these words used in each way? I mean, let's think of examples again. Bob, can you think of at least one example? Other one? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Used car.
Okay.
I bought a used car.
Right. Used. So that's an adjective in this case.
And
Okay.
that use is very good.
Okay. Yeah. The use of the software was very helpful. I don't know, something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So now, what I'm going to do is switch to a blank canvas here, and we're going to stop screen sharing for a moment, and we're going to go to Google document. Here we go. So we can talk about other words. Do you know of any Homographs? Homographs, right? That's what we're. No?
I
No.
know, but I cannot remember. I don't remember now.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. One word, actually, produce. Let me actually make this bigger. This is a very, I don't want to say common, but it's a word that comes up sometimes because I also work with agriculture companies. And obviously, for me, this is something that is important. Okay. So there's two ways to pronounce this. There's produce and deuce. Okay. So the emphasis is different. So produce and produce. Do you know which one is the verb?
Second one.
The second one, yes. How would you describe produce? To make something?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
More or less. They're going to produce new products. I don't know. What is this one? Produce.
Produce. I don't know. Production. Some production. I mean, products. I don't know. Fruit. Oh, really? Okay.
So, Ken, when you were in the produce section at the grocery store,
I see.
we use produce for fruits and vegetables. Okay. Yeah.
So only for fruits and vegetables, or how
Yeah,
about
I think
mean
so.
for
I'm gonna just check with word reference here. Yeah, but the produce section is all fruits and vegetables. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's just see, manufacture would have been our verb here. Agricultural products.
Okay,
Basically, yeah.
agriculture. Okay, I got it.
Yep.
So milk or dairies is not agriculture, or
Produce. I wouldn't think it is.
okay, maybe
Good
okay.
question, but not really.
Yeah, they are in a different section usually from fruits
Yeah.
and vegetables. Yes.
Mhm. Good. Okay. Let's see. If you think of anything else, let me know. For example, what about the word fine? Now, it's pronounced the same. Okay. So fine, what is a fine? What's the first thing you think of? What's fine?
Good.
Okay. Yep. So it can mean the same as good. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Okay. So that is an adjective, but there's another one.
Will be fine.
Still used in the same context. Let's try fine as I got a fine. What does that mean?
Penalty. Money.
Yes.
Usually.
Yep, exactly. And that could be, for example, for speeding or a parking fine, something like that. Okay.
Which I don't like it.
Well, nobody does. Only the police do, okay?
I see.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So I've got another one here for you. That word. Actually, we're going to put all of this on the next page then.
I think yeah.
What is it?
I think I know that. Wind and wind.
Okay, you did get it. Yep. So two different pronunciation. The I is different. So it's wind, wind, I. Wind is the small. I don't know if I knew it wouldn't let me. Whoops, not the O. Okay, if I go like that, it'll let me. So it's the sound. Wind. What is wind?
Breeze.
Yep, so that's the air moving. Okay.
Mhm.
And then the
Yes.
other wind, now you have a capital I here. Okay, so we'll actually do that. And what is wind?
A long and winding road, which means, how can I describe? Not straight, not straight.
Not straight.
A lot
Actually,
of curves, a lot of curves. Curve,
okay, so they turn.
turn, okay.
Yes and no. To
Okay.
me, for example, I mean, to wind, for example, a toy, to wind up a toy. For example, it's one of those things that you kind of have to like move with your hand and then you set the object down and it moves itself for a while. You wind up a toy. It's a little bit different than just to turn.
Uh-huh. It's a verb in this case.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So if I look up wind up, for example, it's to give something power by turning something. Okay, so it's like that mechanism inside
Mhm.
in order for it to move, for example. Okay, so it's a little bit different. To wind, it does mean to turn. I mean, that's the actual action, but it's used differently. Okay, I think that's the best I can do for now. More words. Nobody? Okay. Second. What about the word second?
Next.
Next. Okay. Yes. So, I mean, well, if you want to say next, we could say maybe after the first, because we have to have first, second, third, fourth. It has to go in
Yes.
order, right?
Yes.
We can also have what is it? 1/60th. Oops, I did that wrong. 1/60th of a minute. So
Time.
1 second. There are
Yes.
60 seconds in a minute, otherwise. Okay?
Yes.
This one might be easier to understand. So I'll actually just leave it 60 seconds in a minute. Okay? So again, seconds, that's just, it's how we pronounce it, but they're just different. Nobody else can think of anything, and that's fine.
Hmm.
So,
Okay. Yep.
sorry, what did you ask?
If you have any examples,
Uh-huh, okay.
no?
Second, 60 seconds later, second stage is gonna start.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yep, that's fine. That's good. Actually, I've got another one here for you. Project. I don't know how I want to write that. Project, project. Okay. So there are differences with pronunciation here. Project or project? What do you, let me get the word here.
Hmm.
So how do you recognize this word? What could be a synonym for this word? Actually, I don't think I did this right. Project. So maybe we'll do PRA and then this part, project. I think project. Then I guess this would be a little bit more, I don't know, something like that.
I think I was told, verb should be second syllable should be stressed as a verb.
Okay.
How about this case? I don't know.
Yeah, that actually works in this case.
Mhm.
So what do
So
you know about it?
first one is a verb, and the second one is a noun, and second one is like a plan or something. Plan.
Yeah, project is like an activity.
Okay.
For school or something like that. Yeah, but
Oh,
activity could be a synonym, for example, a project. You have some work to do. Okay. Actually, work would be a good word there. Okay. And the other one, project, is actually, do you know when you were in school, for example, they used to have something called, a projector. And this
yes.
is when with light and the lights off, you can have
Wow.
an image projected on the wall
Right.
Yes.
to show with light. I don't know how to say this, okay? But they're projecting something onto the wall, okay? Isn't this confusing?
A little.
But
Yeah.
usually, English kind of word order is pretty strict. So, it project, which means,
Hmm.
the verb. But if it is later, it could be a noun.
Right. Well, you know what? And it is confusing. Again, you wouldn't know how to pronounce this word unless you were given sentences and probably to compare the sentences.
Mhm.
So it just all around is super crazy and super okay. Um, any questions about these words or other words that we
You put a instead of o, which means in American accent, it might be project
Yeah,
is proper. Okay.
project. Yeah, that I mean, hmm. Actually, the funny thing about Canadians is that
Mhm.
Canadians actually go, well, they say that they're project, like they would really say like a real O here. So
Mhm.
that's something that's different. Okay.
Okay.
So now that we've had some extra time to look at other ones, I want to go back. Oh, I think you're gonna see me here for a second. I'm gonna go back to the first one, the first presentation, and we're going to take a look at these words again. Okay. And you get to decide what the answer is. Are we nervous? So, for example, choose the correct word to fit into the sentences. Write the correct letter. Now, we're not going to write anything because we can't, but so the state of Nevada has a like climate. How would we pronounce this word correctly?
Desert.
Good. Yep, the state of Nevada has a desert-like climate. Perfect. Okay. So the next one is my favorite kinds. Oh, is one of my favorite kinds of fish.
Bass.
Bass.
Yes.
Yes, I
Is
had to
one of
think.
Bass is one of my favorite kind of fish.
Yes, that is very good. All right. What about this next one? This is so I can barely see it. Ken, do you want to say this one?
Minute.
Exactly. This is so minute. It's so tiny. Okay. Let's see this next one. I'm just going to move down a little bit and see. No. All right. Well, this could be a sentence in which we could use both. Why don't we think of a sentence? So what did I do with the paper before?
Tear.
So I tore the paper would be in the past.
In the past store, yes.
Yep, because it's tear, tore, have torn. Torn.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the difference between tear and tear down, tear apart?
Okay, well, tear is what comes from your eye when you cry.
Yes.
And the other
Yes. Sorry.
pronunciation is tear
Sorry. Yeah. Tear and tear down. Tear apart.
apart. Yes.
Right.
Tear down. Um, Actually, those are some really good questions. Okay, so tear is done. That's the water from your eye. Tear down and tear apart. So
Mhm.
for me, tear down would be it to destroy, to destruct something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Tear it down to nothing, so there's nothing there.
Mhm.
Tear apart means that it's being broken into a lot of pieces.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I got it. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking real quickly. Whoops. And two pieces. Okay. Basically, what I said is what I found here, so that's fine. Ugh. It's really, really, really confusing sometimes, to do this. To to think like, okay, I mean, sometimes tear down and tear apart probably could be used. Probably, I'm not saying yes. That you could use them interchangeably, and other times you just wouldn't.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Well, that's basically it. Since we do have a couple minutes left, I wanted to do just a couple more, but in the chat box here. So we have this word. Do you see it?
Not yet.
In the chat
A
box?
type box. Okay, I got it. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the other part. So what word do you see? When you see that first, how would you pronounce it?
Lead.
Okay, so lead, and this is a very lead would mean to guide someone, right? I'm going to lead you to the toilet. I'm going to show you where it is. Okay.
Yes.
Any other pronunciation that you might know of?
Lead.
Lead. And what is lead?
I think it's a metal of one kind of metal.
It is a type of metal.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's good. What about this word? This one you might not know. I'd be surprised if you knew the other meaning.
Object.
Yeah. So it's an object.
Like the building example.
Yep, sure. Anything is an object. A pencil,
Yeah.
your microphone, an object. It's a thing. Now,
Yes.
yep, so that's a noun, so it's a thing. Now we have the verb is object. So object, like object, sorry. Let's write that again. Object is the
Like,
verb.
like a lawyer said, object. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, what is he
Exactly.
saying? What is he saying when he means that?
Um, um, what does this mean?
Yes.
Oh, I know in my language.
Ken, can you help us out here? Do you know?
Maybe if the lawyer say objection means I can say to refuse to oppose,
And yep,
to
refuse.
deny.
Yep, refuse, oppose. You're going against, or you
Right.
don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good. I think for the most part, covered some of the really good, interesting ones. So I think that's going to be it for now. So we'll stop screen sharing for a little bit just so we can start saying goodbye and such. It's sunny today, but it's a little cloudy too. So what I'm going to do is just check this schedule. I know next class we're doing something with this presentation as well. So comparisons, all right? So we're going to be looking at comparisons on how to compare different things. There's a lot of ways that we can compare. So, I mean, one, it depends on what you want to focus on. Then it focuses on the structure of the sentence and that. So there's a lot of things involved when we are going to compare. Okay. So that's what we'll work on for Wednesday. And I've sent Thomas my class schedule for November. Maybe he'll put it in. I don't know. He has to do the rest of October first, though. So that's good. Any questions as of right now about anything?
Wednesday, 3 o'clock p.m.
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay.
If anything
Okay.
happens, Thomas would be around. No, I don't know. I just don't know what's gonna happen. So
Same
my
time,
plan.
same day.
I'm
Same
sorry?
time, same time, same day.
Yep.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Now everything should be fine. Should be back to normal. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going on a little vacation at the end of this month. It will not interrupt my Intenga schedule. So that's good. As far as I know, until early December when I'm gone again, everything will be normal. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
don't worry about that. Everything should be normal. Monday's at 1 and in Spain, Wednesday's at 3, and that's it. So yeah, we're finished for today. Thanks for joining. Thanks for looking at some difficult words here today, and good luck with the English language. Okay, it can be difficult. And Bob, good luck with your German.
Yes. Very interesting. I know many words, but in this moment on the class, I can't remember. I always know when reading, when heard about words, but this time, in this moment, please tell, I can't remember.
Don't worry about it. I don't speak German anyway. So talk to Thomas, but have a great day, guys. Thanks for coming, and hopefully we see you on Wednesday, okay?
Okay,
All
okay.
right,
Thank you
sounds
so much.
good. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.